Good evening, Sarawak. It's 8 p.m. Saturday, October 31st. This is DD Weekly. It's good to be with you. I'm Nancy Nice. We are here to bring you a recap of the top news stories that made headlines across Sarawak for the week. Sarawak has been broadening its horizons of late. Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg had, on October 25th, announced that Petroleum Sarawak Berhad, Petros, will be exporting liquefied natural gas, LNG, cylinders to Kalimantan starting February 2021, which will most likely be named Petros LNG and packaged in red cylinder containers. As Sarawak has exported cooking oil, rice and sugar to West Kalimantan, Indonesia during the Movement Control Order (MCO) period, he said that the good relationship between the two territories thus paved the way for a Sarawak office to be set up in Pontianak. Abang Johari also revealed during the Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu special convention held in Kuching here that a Japanese company, Tayo Yuden Sarawak Berhad, will increase its investment in Samajaya industrial area by 5 million. With Sarawak's peaceful environment and stability, he is confident the state can attract more investments from China and Korea. As Sarawak assumed regulatory control of onshore mining, the state government has issued oil mining leases to Petroleum Sarawak Berhad, Petros, at 2 blocks at Adong Kecil West in Dimiri area and Engkabang area south of Marudi. Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg, in announcing this at the Sarawak Oil and Gas Industry dinner last night, emphasized that this signified the beginning of the state's government's efforts to exercise Sarawak's constitutional rights to regulate oil mining under the state laws, to take complete control over the exploration and production of petroleum in the onshore areas. Apart from enforcing constitutional authority over the distribution of gas and increasing Petros' participation in offshore petroleum production areas, he said that the state government will also strengthen the role of Petros in spearheading the state's enhanced involvement in the oil and gas industry, especially in the downstream sectors. These efforts, he added, are geared towards securing for the state adequate natural gas supplies needed to drive the state's industrial development agenda, including the establishment of petrochemical hub and gas processing plant to enhance the security of supply for liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) to meet the increasing demands in the state. At the same function, Abang Johari also revealed that Japanese company Sumitomo Corporation has proposed to work with Sarawak Economic Development Corporation (SEDC) to set up the first hydrogen plant with a capacity of 10,000 tons in Bintulu. The investment, he emphasized, will put Sarawak at the forefront of the new hydrogen economy in the Southeast Asia region. With the plant able to scale up to 20,000 tons, he believed Sarawak will become a major producer of hydrogen in this region. Coupled with steps to strengthen the oil and gas industry, Abang Johari added that this will steer Sarawak to become a developed state by 2030. Moving on to development, Kapit town has been thriving ever since the opening of the Cebu-Kapit Road. Following a visit by Dayakdaily journalist to Kapit along the 160-kilometer new Cebu-Kapit Road, we discovered that the long-awaited road has definitely brought about positive changes to the business in the town. For the first time in history, Kapit, a vibrant upriver timber town which was previously only accessible by riverine transport, is now physically connected by road to Cebu, the largest and busiest commercial hub in the Rejang Basin. Good news treaded on the heels of such development. On October 26, Agriculture, Modernization, Native Land and Regional Development Minister Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas identified Kapit as a potential fruit basket of Sarawak. This is thanks to the high-quality dabai and other fruits such as durian and isau produced only in Kapit. Uga also said a temporary collection centre with necessary machines would be set up there to help farmers sell their surplus harvested fruits of dabai, durian and isau, as Kapit's high-quality dabai is always much sought after. Next, on the upcoming Sarawak state election, Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg emphasised that the 12th state election will proceed following the announcement of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, asserting that there is no need for the country to declare a state of emergency. Abang Johari said this means that the Sarawak government would continue to function as normal and serve the people. As for the limitations due to COVID-19, he, however, reminded that the mandate is coming to an end and it is up to the Election Commission and the National Security Council to come up with the standard operating procedures to hold an election. In response to this statement, Democratic Action Party Sarawak Chairman Chong Chen Chen opined that holding a state election should be the last thing on the mind of Abang Johari and the Gabungan Party Sarawak government. Instead, he said they ought to prioritise in saving jobs and businesses that are adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, especially the small and medium enterprises who are suffering another setback with the end of the moratorium on bank loan repayment starting this month. Deputy Chief Minister Tan Sri Dr. James Jamut Masing, on the other hand, voiced his opinion that the show must go on, although it may be tricky to hold elections during the pandemic. Sarawak is facing an inevitable political situation as the 12th state election has to be called anytime soon in accordance with the law with or without COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, he opined that it would be better to hold the elections while COVID-19 cases in the state is still in small clusters, which can be controlled while strict SOP continue to be complied by all personnel. Coming up next is more updates on social news in the state. E-hailing drivers based in Kuching, Cebu, Bintulu and Miri are to be trained as ambassadors for Sarawak tourism under the Sarawak Ambassador Program on e-learning for e-hailing drivers. Sarawak Tourism Board and Grab Academy has launched this tourism awareness program, aiming to recruit at least 1,000 volunteers out of 4,000 to 5,000 e-hailing drivers in the state, and provide them with online modules containing information about Sarawak culture, heritage and tourist destinations. Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Permanent Secretary Hee Chang-ki said the drivers could then promote this content, messages and what they know about Sarawak to their passengers, especially those from outside of Sarawak. This is a collaborated effort between the Ministry of Tourism and Sarawak Tourism Board to build up the capacity of Sarawak's industry players instead of just sitting around and wait amid the current COVID-19 situation. Malaysia's first Roman Catholic Cardinal, Anthony Soter Fernandez, has passed away at the age of 88 on October 28. He died at 12:35 p.m. after a bout with tongue cancer. He was diagnosed with the disease in November last year and had undergone immunotherapy and radiotherapy since then. Lamenting on the death of the Cardinal, Archbishop of Kuching, His Grace Simon Poh said, It is a great loss to the country and in this region, as the Cardinal has been an instrumental in promoting peace and interreligious dialogue. Describing him as a very humble person, Paul said Fernandez was a father figure to the churches in Malaysia and was close to the people he had served. His death now leaves the College of Cardinals with 218 members, 122 of whom are under the age of 80 and therefore eligible to vote in a conclave. 2 Malaysian crew members of the MV Dayang Topaz perished on October 27th after their vessel collided with oil platform structures after its anchor cable broke during adverse weather at the Baram field. The offshore support vessel had 187 crew on board when the accident occurred. Approximately 125 crew members jumped into the sea when the vessel hit the platform about 4 nautical miles from Miri. With the exception of the 2 deceased, all the others were rescued. Operator Petronas Carigali Sdn Berhad said the incident is still being probed. Preliminary investigations revealed that the incident did not cause any impact on the environment, but Petronas will continue to work with relevant authorities to monitor the situation and conduct further assessment to ensure any eventuality is addressed swiftly. Now, let's take a quick look at COVID-19 in Sarawak. Things have taken a sharp turn in the past week, with a total of 100 new cases reported in the state in just 7 days. The cumulative number of COVID-19 cases now stands at 872 as of October 30th, while Bintulu has been reverted back to green zone on October 24th. Sadly, Kuching was reclassified as red zone on October 27th, and Lundu, Miri and Limbang back to yellow zone yesterday. 3 more COVID-19 clusters have emerged in Kuching since October 24th, namely the Baki cluster, Selada cluster and Green Hill cluster, apart from the Bah Arnab and Putra clusters, which are still active, but all cases have recovered. With 30 positive cases detected in the Baki cluster as of October 30th, Kampung Haji Baki has been placed under Enhanced Movement Control Order. 6 roads, including 2 Jalan Tikus connecting to the village, have been closed, as all residents are not allowed to leave their houses and visitors prohibited from entering. In addition, State Disaster Management Committee Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas has also announced several new measures to curb further spread of the COVID-19. All entertainment centres in Kuching, including pubs, bars, lounges, discotheques, dance halls, cabarets and karaokes, as well as reflexology centres, public and private gymnasiums, were directed to stop operating from October 28 until further notice. Food outlets and bistros do not have to close their doors, but the operating hours have been shortened from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. For social and official gatherings in Kuching, only a maximum crowd of 200 persons is allowed. As Kuching is now a red zone area, the Ministry of Education has announced the closure of 209 primary and secondary schools, including with boarding facility for 2 weeks until November 13. The closure was also extended to all tuition centres, kindergartens and nurseries, as well as SMK Wira Penrisen, SMK Sungai Tapang and SK Wirajaya under the Semarahan District Education Office. This is the DD Weekly News for this week. Thank you for watching. I am Nancy Nice. Have a great weekend.